I want to come in and talk about something a lot, and I have heard this so often. People feel, I don't know, guilty or shy around me because they have this assumption that I'm perfect. And I get it. I've been doing this for a long time. So obviously I sit in a lot of tips and stuff like that. But I want to make it very clear. I'm not perfect. We're not perfect. We're not a perfect zero waste family. We have our ups and downs. And I'm not going to sit here and say that it was super easy. I think that if you want to make any changes in your life, you want to like take on challenges. You can't be shy for it sometimes being difficult. And I think this goes for anything in life. And I'm not a person to back down on a challenge. I find it kind of fun to see like how can I do this? How can I figure things out? I mean, you have to be a little bit creative, and I'm definitely am. But anyway, I want to talk about that we have had a lot of ups and downs, and I have had some epic fails. And the thing is that I choose not to see them as epic fails because I see it as a learning curve. And like it is the same thing with the garden. And like I said, that there are no mistakes in the garden. There are just a learning curve. And the same thing goes with a zero waste or sustainable life. You don't have to live zero waste, but sustainable life. To making changes, you will hit some speed bumps and some. And so it's up to you what attitude you can have about it. I think that if you have the attitude like, oh, this is too hard. Okay, yeah, it is going to be hard. I think for me, it's like, okay, well, this was hard and this was a fail. Let's move on and try something different. So a couple of things that have happened. First of all, when we moved from San Diego to Sweden, I went a little bit like, oh my God, blank, because we don't have access to any bulk stores or refill stores anymore. And that was a challenge. It's definitely a challenge to start over and learn new again. And considering also that I moved across the world and with 3 kids, and I have to get them settled and just getting used to a new life and living in an apartment, not a house. It was a lot, and I quite frankly wanted to throw in the towel sometimes because it was so hard. But I didn't. I just had to figure things out, and I took my own time. But in the beginning, I have to admit, there was definitely more waste because I had to figure things out. So for example, here in Sweden, oh my God, they wrap everything in plastic. If it's sustainable or organic, they were wrapping in plastic. And that was like, okay, I want to buy cucumbers. And we moved here in the late summer, which meant that it was not like I was going to be able to grow anything. So I did, figure out that farmers market, and there I could buy everything. But farmers market in Sweden are only until October compared to San Diego, which is all year round. So if you want to buy like package-free food in San Diego, that's easy. Package-free food in Sweden, not so. So, but I did a lot of research, and I accepted that in the beginning there were packaging that I did not want to have because I had to give myself a break. Like I said, it had been a lot, but I felt so guilty. But like I said, I want to give myself just a pat on the back that moving across the world with kids is not that easy, and I needed to give myself a break. But once I finally then regained and found that we had, I felt a little bit more settled, I started working on it, and I found first of all that there are stores here that I can buy things in paper bags, and actually the grocery stores, actually when you buy fruit and vegetables, do offer some of them, you can buy them in paper bags instead of plastic. I appreciate that. And there were just certain things I wouldn't buy, and cucumbers was one of them, because especially the organic ones, were wrapped in plastic. But then I found a grocery store across the town, not across the town sounds really, really far, but about 20 minutes away from here, and they sell a lot of things unpackaged. I also learned to buy things in cardboard and paper instead of plastic and glass. I do miss my refill stores, I have to admit that. And for example, like shampoos, I haven't figured that one out yet. I'm gonna admit it. And when we started this project in 2016, and that was in Sweden, so it was the same thing. And back then there was definitely nothing organic, and nothing zero waste, nothing sustainable. So I had to make everything. But I made shampoo. I made our own shampoo, and I don't even know the recipe, but I know that it had some apple cider vinegar in it. But my hair looked like, I mean, it was falling out, it was itching, I looked like a troll, a cute troll, but I looked like a troll. And it was finally my hairstylist was like, oh, please, Fredrika, you got to stop this. You're not going to have any hair left. So I stopped. And she found me a vegan, all natural shampoo in a plastic, but I bought an economy size. So I haven't figured out the shampoo yet. When I go to San Diego on business trips, I do then bring an actual refill and take it with me. But you know, obviously I'm flying, so that's definitely not sustainable. So anyway, I haven't figured that one out yet. And that's, if anyone who actually live in Sweden and know about a refill store where I can buy shampoo that's not in plastic, please hit me up, send me a message, I want to know. Another one that, actually two ones that really stick out on these fails. One was when we first started, obviously that was definitely a learning curve, and again, a fun one, but I made our own dishwasher machine detergent, and it didn't clean really well. I left the film on, it was disgusting, and finally I broke down and went to buy a better brand, but nonetheless Kim packaging and stuff like that. But I realized that it was like, you know, we shouldn't suffer like that, and we should have clean dishes. So that was obviously one. And then also, a family who loves bananas, or at that time, when we started this project, the kids loved bananas. They were smaller kids, and they loved the bananas. And but organic bananas in Sweden always wrapped in plastic. And I was so excited when I found a store that did not, and they were just sold individually. And I was like, woohoo, this is great, problem solved. And then one day when I was checking out, I was like, oh yeah, and I said, I come here because you guys don't have your bananas wrapped in plastic. And the cashier, she goes, yeah, isn't it great? Someone stands in the back and removes all the plastic. And I'm like, okay, great, I don't take the plastic home. But they weren't package free, just someone else removed them. So again, back to square one, and then you know, we just stopped buying bananas. But what I'm going to say is that I am not perfect, and we're very much imperfect zero wasters, and we're doing the best we can. And doing it with kids is tricky. So I wanted to just say that for anyone who's starting out, please don't feel bad around me. Don't feel like that I'm perfect. And I would never sit and judge anyone. Make that very clear. I don't believe that I'm gonna change anyone's mind by judging you guys. So that's not that's not how I roll. But I want to say, if you're starting this journey and you find it difficult, and especially if you're hitting something that is like one item that's really hard, then move on and go to something else. It's the effort that counts. Every little step, no matter how small it is, matters. And what matters is also the effort, and that we are at least trying. And I think that's important. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe and share, and I will see you soon again. Bye.